Hi, everyone. It's Amy, just here to remind you that I have a true crime podcast. If you're a lady of a certain age and you love solving murders from your couch, I invite you to check out Murder, She Watched. Murder, She Watched covers some of today's more interesting true crime documentaries, but we also delve into a lot of stuff from the past. For example, we just covered I Love You Now Die, the Commonwealth versus Michelle Carter, on our free feed. And we also just did the Murdoch documentary from Netflix. If you're a true crime fan, you want to check out Murder, She Watched. The link is in the show notes of this episode. That's murdershewatched.com, or find us on any podcast player. Thank you, guys. Hi, everyone. Just a quick note that aside from our usual filthy language, this episode contains discussion of disordered eating, and it contains discussion of sexual assault. So if you're not in the headspace for those things, please skip. If you're going to stick around, I hope you enjoy the episode. Little Miss Recap contains adult language and is intended for entertainment purposes only. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Little Miss Recap. My name's Amy Archer. I'm your host. I'm here today with Brian from MAFS Virgin and also big supporter of the BDFs.
Yeah, I love you guys. I'm one of you, so it's not
you
even
are one of us.
I'm amongst. I'm good. I'm ready to shit all over Tyra Banks because she's the goddamn devil. So
I have never had my audience like beg for a show to be covered more than this one. They are all up in my DMs. They're like mailing letters to my house. Like, please, I'm like, guys, I've never watched an episode of America's Next Top Model. So I don't know but then I realized, Brian, that I think this dynamic could work because you're the expert, you're the subject matter expert. And I'm the looking at it through the lens of someone who's never been immersed in that.
And that's kind of the dynamic of the whole documentary, because it's like a lot of Gen Z people who were stuck at home during COVID who had never watched the show were binging it and being like, holy shit, what the fuck is this?
Yes,
so like, it is. And I'll tell you, there were moments I was waiting to come up that did not really come up or weren't discussed because they weren't dark enough. So like the things that I was thinking about, the hypothermia in the pool, which got like one sentence. I was thinking about the girl who had to take a photo in a grave like a few days after her friend died of an overdose. And that was not talked about at all. And her name was JL. It was a whole very sad story in general because she came in with addiction issues. She had addiction issues afterwards. She passed away from breast cancer at like 27. She was very young. Oh my God. It's very tragic. She wasn't talked about at all. And she was a major part of like the early runs of the show. So I was waiting for like, oh, let's talk about hypothermia. I'm like, oh, no, that's right. So many more terrible things happened. And that doesn't make the cut.
Also, Adrian Curry from season 1, who I was like, oh my God, that's what's his name? Brady's wife.
Ex.
Yes.
Yeah, which of the middle Brady.
Did you watch My Fair Brady?
I watched a little bit of My Fair Brady. I watched the Surreal Life. And so I saw their like origin story. And then I watched a little bit of it. I'm just like, this is not, it's repetitive.
Yeah, they're a disaster. And she has been out there showing her ass. Like she's, wild. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But she wasn't even in this. I was very surprised because she's the first winner.
Yeah. I wonder if she's just like, I don't want to be included. There was a woman named Takara who also got a little bit of a mention where she was like the first really curvy woman that was on the show.
Yes.
And she wasn't part of the documentary either. So I'm just like, I know that Vice is also doing one. And so I'm wondering if they are part of the Vice one and not doing this one. I just don't know.
I love Vice.
It's great.
It's great. I will say that part of the reason I didn't watch this is I didn't watch any of this kind of stuff around weight loss, weight. That's not my jam as a fat person my entire life. Like it was just so triggering on so many levels. So I just didn't watch it. Like I wasn't really interested in it. But I will tell you, as someone who watched The Biggest Loser by force, because I was sort of forced to watch that because it was, one of my ex-husband's sisters was obsessed with the show and we watched it all the time. This documentary had the same feel.
Yes.
And Tyra Banks Banks is not wrong when she says this was indicative of the culture at the time.
Yes. No, there's a
However,
lot of things at play. Yeah.
however, but this
Yeah.
went on to 2015 or 2016. That's a long time.
Yeah. It went on past the point where models were really a thing, because like
Yeah.
once Instagram became a thing, the power and allure of like an elite model agency kind of faded away, and it stopped being a big thing. I'll tell you, I came to the show not because I was into fashion and modeling. I am tangentially in the fashion industry now, supposedly. I grade graphic tees and whatever. But like, I came into it because I love creativity. There was a show that my favorite reality show of all time was Face Off on Sci-Fi. It's the same thing as Project Runway, but they're making
I
movie
love
monster
that
makeups
show.
instead.
Yes.
Loved it.
Yes.
Loved it.
That's
I
a
did
great
that.
show.
Yeah, I loved Project
And
Runway.
like Cake Wars is kind of like that too, where it's just so creative.
British Bake Off. Show me your talent and a skill, the thing you do. The pottery one on HBO Max, Great Pottery Throwdown, so delightful.
Love
that
it.
dude cries
Love
every
it.
episode. So like that's what brought me to this show. And then I got into it. I'm like, oh no, it's also just like trash. Because like you watch Face Off, you don't see them in the house really. The first couple seasons they do that, but they get away from that fast. It's like, no, the drama is not the important part of the show. This show really steered into the mess. And so I think it was at a time where I was watching a whole lot of garbage. Just give me all the trash you got. I was into it.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it, shall we?
We should.
Okay. This is called Reality Check America's Next Top Model. It was on Netflix currently. So it starts with Tyra coming in. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I have to say, the structure of this documentary was interesting. Again, I'm going to say it didn't need to be 3 episodes. No. But the first half of episode 1, I was like, okay, so Tyra's like, she's got a good mission here. And I appreciate what she's trying to do. Like, again, as somebody who knows nothing about this.
You got played.
Yes, I got played. She played right in my face. And then I was like, oh, wait, things are quickly deteriorating. So, yeah. So we get her backstory, and she talks about, again, I'm a Gen Xer, born in 77. I do not remember many Black supermodels when I was growing up. So Tyra Banks, in my mind, is one of the first.
Yeah.
And she really did, pioneer this space. And she deserves all the kudos for that. Like she really made her mark in that world. Yeah. And so, yes, for that, we give her credit.
Yeah, she was a huge deal for good reason. I mean, I remember her. I think the first thing I remember her from is when she was on Fresh Prince as like Will's girlfriend for a short story arc. Yes. And I was in love with her. My wife will tell you I have a very specific type. If we have like a list of our 5 celebrities, mine are all just the same one with like different hair color. So it's
mine all look like a cigarette. So
I know it. Yeah, no. It is just like different flavors of Salma Hayek is what I'm into essentially. Just as many cartoon curves as you've got. Like that's Christina Hendricks is on there and Sofia Vergara. I think Tyra Banks started that for me. Where it's like Tyra Banks and Mariah Carey both were like, when I was a kid, I could not get enough.
Yeah.
And so
she's beautiful.
Yes. And she was a good model. Like she does the job really well. And she didn't really fit the super stick thin, thing that was happening at the time with your Kate Mosses and whatnot. So like for that, great. And then what happened?
But can we just get out of the way that she looks stunning today?
Yeah. And doesn't seem to have had a ton of work done.
Yes,
I know my housewives and I know what to look for. And it doesn't look like she's had a whole, if she did have work done, it was like the best work I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. She looks amazing. All right,
Trench coat is a choice, but otherwise,
it's an odd choice. It just screamed. It telegraphs villain to me.
Carmen Sandiego cosplay. Yes,
you're gonna make that decision. You're gonna be the villain. I see what's happening.
Clearly.
So Ken Mock comes in as the executive producer. He's bragging that his big hit was making the band. Wasn't that a problem?
Yeah, well, not the original one. So there was 2 of them. There was the Ken Mock one where they did O-Town. Which was a boy band whose biggest hit was a song about a wet dream. I'm not kidding.
Yes, I remember O-Town.
Diddy making the band that came.
Well, we talked about that. Yes.
Yeah. So he was, I didn't watch the O-Town one. I don't think it was that problematic because it was on like ABC. I don't know if they were really doing that much like out there stuff at the time.
Was Lou Pearlman involved in that?
Oh, yes. Yeah, he's problematic. I think
problematic.
He was an executive producer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Tyra pitches this show as America's Got Talent meets the real world, which I think is a good pitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
that's it.
They picked good judges who pop on TV. So they bring in Jay Alexander, who they call Miss J. Mm-hmm. Okay. I have to say something. When I saw Miss J for the first time, because again, didn't have any idea who these people were, I was like, that's the guy from the memes. All the memes that you see.
That's the big eyes meme.
God, that's the guy.
My thing was, I didn't know he was 6'5". Jesus Christ. That's a tall drink of water.
Jesus, that's tall. Yeah. Miss J's the best in the business. And also, and this is something that's important too. They bring in Jay Manuel. Both of these men are queer men. So having queer men of color on TV at the time was huge representation and was groundbreaking. Yeah. They don't bring in, but Dawn is the former president of UPN. And this is where the pitch lands, right? Because they go through everybody else and everybody else is no. And when you're hitting up UPN, you're desperate.
By the time you get to a network that no longer exists, like things are looking pretty grim. Spike TV is next.
It's 1:57 a.m. The bar lights have just flicked on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I lived that life.
Dawn's like, look, we were dying. We needed a hit. So Brian, do you know why they call it cycles instead of seasons?
I don't call it that. I hate it. I think it might be a fashion industry thing. Because like when I used to work for like a big company doing graphics, we did seasons. So we had like a fall season, a summer season, and then we would do like a back to school season too. Sure. So I don't know if cycles is what they call it when you do like couture design. Maybe it's that, but I don't call it that. They're seasons. Don't be stupid. Like, come on.
I wrote cycles.
No, you're doing the right thing. I don't know why they called it that.
Okay, so they hold public auditions like American Idol, and we get a lot of current day interviews with these girls, which I was glad for. I want to hear their interpretation. And it was interesting because they picked girls who didn't really look like models, right? Like they picked women who they think will do well on TV, but also have the potential to be a model. And Tyra says, I was trying to cast diverse women. And then we get this side plot with Les Moonves, who I have no use for in this fucking world. Hashtag never forget hashtag Julie Chen Moonves. Do you remember that sign off of Big Brother? Of course. Oh, it's a moment that just lives rent free in my brain. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he is a big old white baby man who doesn't want to see women of color on this. And apparently Tyra throws a fit, gets in his face, and they're able to cast Giselle and Ebony. Those are because the way that they frame it is kind of like if you had 10 people and one was a person of color, that was diversity.
Yeah, we did it. We did it, guys.
Wow. The aughts were a wild time, guys.
They really were.
So the first season's really done on a shoestring budget. Tyra wanted to teach, challenge, photo shoot, and judge. And you win a contract with Revlon, a fashion spread with Marie Claire. But Adrienne disputes this. She says she never got what they promised her, which was also a contract with one of the top agencies. I forget the agency, but one of the top.
I think it was Elite Model Management. I know that was with later seasons.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was Ford in the first season. There's only a couple of them,
So Jay says he and Miss J were the gay Wonder Twins, and they were thrilled to have this representation. Ebony was also a lesbian and was shown, her girlfriend was shown with her. And that was, again, if you're, under 20 listening to this, you're like, yeah, so this was big.
They breeze over it a little bit. It was bad on the show because the girlfriend came over, and I forget the name of that other girl they featured from the first season who was like from the small town, super Christian.
Oh, who's
woman.
Like, ew, gross.
Yeah, that was a major part of the show. She got like it was similar to how like Puck was on San Francisco Real World. Yeah, yes. It was full on in your face homophobia, and they just kind of breeze right past it in the doc, but it was pretty ugly.
Okay. Yeah. See, that would have been interesting to delve into that a little bit. Yeah. So the judging panel, namely Janice Dickinson, is horrendously offensive.
Forgot she was on the show. forgot entirely that she was part of this. She's only around for a couple of seasons.
She's telling people they're fat when they're like 110 pounds. Now, she's also telling people to pull their teeth out.
Yeah, all of them.
Have you looked in the mirror, Janice Dickinson? Like, what?
She's hard to look at. You aren't supposed to look directly at her.
Medusa style?
Yeah, be Perseus here. I think this was a whole thing of reality shows that had judges at the time. You had to have your Simon Cowell. You had to have the one who was mean as hell and abusive and just a piece of shit. And I don't know why they thought that's what we had to have, but like every reality show that had judges at the time had one of these. She might have been like the most abusive of all of them, though.
Right, but the problem is on America's Got Talent, you had Simon Cowell, Paula Abdul, right? And who was the No From Me dog? Who was that guy?
Oh, that's Randy Jackson.
Randy and Paula were nice. So they balanced out Simon. Here, everybody was kind of mean. Tyra would stick up for you occasionally, but like Jay and Miss J were like just less mean.
Yeah, I remember Miss J being not bad, and then I'm like, oh no, he was also mean as hell.
Yes.
So like, recency bias, I guess.
So there's nobody that balances that meanness out, which is a problem. And I have to say that they talk about what the message that teen girls took away from all of this. And I remember this is where I really struggle with Howard Stern, because I was a huge Howard Stern fan and I internalized so much of his misogyny, so much of his fat phobia. Like I very distinctly remember him bringing women into the studio, telling them they were fat, they needed to do this to their body, this to their body. And so like whenever I mention Howard Stern, people are like, how could you? And I've had to reconcile that within myself, because as a young fat woman, that's certainly, I internalized that. But Howard has like fallen on his sword and grown and progressed and did a ton of therapy. And, you know, I think that Tyra has not done that is my point. In other words, there is a path back from this stuff, right?
You could say the same thing for Jimmy Kimmel. Because Jimmy Kimmel started with the Man Show and girls jumping on trampolines, and he's not that anymore.
100%. Like we need, there is a path for people to come back from this kind of stuff, but you have to be willing to admit it happened.
Yeah.
And I feel like Tyra's not.
Admit that it happened and that you are responsible for it happening. Because it's one thing to be like, yeah, that happened. It's another thing to be like, yeah, that happened, and I let it happen, and I encouraged it, and I profited from it, and like, that's fucked up. And Tyra won't even come to the point where she's saying that was a bad thing. The other male judges are at least like, yeah, that was pretty gross. Tyra's just like, well, that was what you guys wanted.
Like, okay, I had a real problem with her saying that. Like, that's what you guys wanted. No, we didn't.
You didn't ask me.
No. So now the show airs and the audience loves it and it's blowing up, but the women are not thrilled with how they're portrayed. Plus, there are these confessionals where they're ripping each other up. And of course, they didn't see that while they were filming, and they're brutal.
It's really bad.
Yikes. So let's talk about Ebony's story. So Ebony's story is they get makeovers. And at first, the makeovers are like, we're just going to give you a different hairstyle. Then it becomes surgical at some point, kind of like the Swan territory there.
Yup. Remember that? 2 seasons. 2 seasons.
It's so when it comes to Ebony, I wrote, despite the fact that Miss J and Tyra are standing there and are people of color, they seem to have no idea how to treat her hair. They're acting like she is an alien who has just landed here from Mars. And what is this thing on top of her head? Like these I'm just going to say, like these basic white women just standing around like, what do we do with this hair? I have an idea. You know, why don't you call in a woman of color to deal with this? Like to properly style this hair.
Well, and to be clear, there wasn't a whole lot of hair for them to style. There's only so many options when your hair is that short. So like, number one, the relationship that Black people have with our hair is specific. I speak as a proud bald man. I started shaving my head when I was 19, when I had a full head of hair. I did it one time and I found out that like girls love rubbing my head. And I'm like, well, I'm never going back to that ever again. And so I've stayed this way ever since. My hairline
Were they
is sad
jumping
now.
on trampolines and rubbing your head? Was it the year 2001?
It was 2005, but I went to a big university. So things were a bit retrograde.
Okay.
Like, you know, I remember growing up, people asking if they could like touch my hair, or not even asking, just like doing it, and then having
Yeah.
this fascination with my hair, and telling me that I should grow an afro, telling me that I should get dreads. I'm like, I don't tell you what you should do with your hair. Leave mine alone.
Correct.
So there was already that part of it. The
Mhm.
part that bothered me the most was the joke about should we carve our names into it? And I'm just like,
I was
what?
like,
Stop that.
so many.
Stop
I wrote here like so many microaggressions, actually macroaggressions.
Yeah, these are
Just
in her
blatant
face and like laughing
racism.
about
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, again, there's only so many things you can do with hair that's that short. So the only move they could have done, other than we're just gonna like shampoo it and conditioner it and make it like
'Cause
really
it's
nice, is just
adorable.
shave her bald like me. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're bald like me, or you have the hair that she had, and they chose a different path and just fucked it all the way up.
They
Just like,
chose chaos that morning.
on. They did
Mhm.
on purpose.
So then Ebony is getting phone calls saying that the judges are telling Tyra that she looks ashy, which is a
God.
microaggression.
She did not look ashy. She puts on lotion. You don't look ashy. That's what you do. I tell my son he looks ashy. You got to put on lotion. There's not like a secret formula for this, or your skin just is. You moisturize your skin and it goes away. Like that's the. And I know she was putting on moisturizer.
Well, she was putting on moisturizer, and the other girls are like, "Can you not touch the doorknobs?" Like, it's just bad.
It's as though she's
bad.
caked in it. Like, stop.
And then Ebony, rightfully so, is angry about these things. So then the narrative becomes, "Oh, you're an angry, aggressive black woman."
Yeah, that's a trope.
I was like, okay.
That's the one character you get to be if you're a dark-skinned black woman on reality TV. You have to be angry.
It was horrifying.
Yeah.
So for cycle 2, the budget blows up and they get a new soundstage, new apartment. They also amp up the drama by having Janice and Tyra feud more. Jay says, I tried to step in when I could, and we see him go after Janice.
Mm-hmm.
But Tyra doesn't help him out. She's just kind of like watching back and forth.
Plant.
Yeah.
No.
And he does admit, I have to give Jay Manuel credit. Like, he is like, I was not my best self. Like, this is not good. He's at least somewhat mortified watching this.
Somewhat.
They bring in Nigel Barker as a photographer. He's the, quote, nice guy. And he's also straight and white.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is what they required. That's what they demanded.
Yeah. Okay. So now we get to Shandy. Whoa. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, Brian. I was like, holy
remember it like it was yesterday.
shit.
Yep.
This girl was
watching it go
sexually
down.
assaulted on camera.
Yep. And they don't portray it that way at all when you watch it. I remember watching it when it happened and being like, you're cheating on your boyfriend? There's a camera right there. Like, what's wrong with you? What, like, the judgment was 100% on her. Which even at that time, I would have been in college. So like, I understood consent and, you know, what happens if you drink to the point of blackout and all of that.
Yeah.
And even then I was just like, oh, I can't believe you're doing this. It's really messed up.
Yeah. Well, they presented it through a certain lens.
Mm-hmm.
So Shandy's working at Walgreens in Kansas City, Missouri. She's just like, you know, a cute little girl. Like she's kind of mousy, I would describe her maybe.
Yeah, hunched shoulders, 8 feet tall, and like 30 pounds.
Yeah, like crappy haircut, you know, like I recognize it. I see it. Game knows game.
As a Midwesterner, she's the Midwest.
But she's clearly like, she's one of those people like an 80s rom-com, 90s rom-com. They're going to take off her glasses and she's hot. Mm-hmm. So she, you know, she's built like a model. You can see it.
Yes. Yeah.
So a lot of the girls had family trauma. And Shandy's story was one of those. You know, she talks about like her parents basically didn't give a shit about her. And on her 18th birthday, she like pieced out and they didn't even care. It was really sad. So the one person she was anchored to in her life was her boyfriend. This person who said to her, you should go on the show. You're beautiful. Da, 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 da.
A main feature of her season. He was a big part of, they were talking on the phone all the time. And like he was a character on the show essentially. Okay.
Little Miss Recap will return in a moment. For ad-free episodes, visit littlemissrecap.com/support. So they bring in the psychic and she's like, oh, Shandy, you clearly have family trauma. Like you just need a family. When was the last time you were hugged? Shandy just starts sobbing.
Yeah.
And here's what drove me crazy is Miss J is the only person in that room who walks over to Shandy and gives her a hug. Like all these people are just kind of like the one girl who was sitting right next to her kind of leaned over to her.
Kind of.
But everybody else was kind of just like, oh, sucks to be you, Shandy. Wow.
Where's your humanity? Come on, guys.
So they go to Milan. So I guess, and you can tell me this, they travel internationally for the last show. It's become a thing.
Yeah. At the end, what they do is they'll go to like a major fashion city overseas, and they kind of talk about it a little bit. The last challenge is a bunch of go-sees. So they will send you to a bunch of like fashion houses to basically live as though it was like a day in Fashion Week. We're like,
okay, is that what a go-see is? Because I've never heard that term before. Okay.
Yeah. It's you go and you like talk to the designer, you try on stuff, they kind of come up with looks for you, they tell you where you have to be. But it is an entire day where you are just on the go, you are traveling here to there, and they deliberately make your schedule too tight, where they don't give you enough time to do all the things you need to do comfortably. So by the end, you're like a frazzled mess, and they will talk bad about how, I can't believe you showed up looking this disheveled, and you know, your walk isn't that great right now. I was, my fucking feet hurt. Like I've been running around town all day. So yeah, that was the last challenge, is deliberately traumatic.
Okay, so this season 2 is the first time they do this, the second cycle. And they go to Milan and they do a photo shot at Verona and or photo shoot at Verona. I can't talk today, I'm sorry. And Shandy does the best. And you can see like she, like I said, has I can't explain it, but she is a model. She really could be.
She's good at this.
Yeah.
She was really good at her whole season.
Yes. So then they're assigned these personal drivers, these moped drivers. And at the end of the night, after they've been running all over the place and they're exhausted and they haven't eaten and they haven't slept, they decide they're going to have a party with these moped drivers and bring them all in. Now, did production like do this, or because it's not clear in the doc?
There is an executive producer on the show whose name rhymes with Myra Lanks. And it seems like she was the one who suggested this. Okay. I've seen some of the interviews post this coming out, and it seems very much like she was the one who brought up this idea. And it wasn't presented to the girls as like, do you want to do this? It was like, they're coming over. We're going to film, you know, you guys be asking if you want them or whatever, but like, this has already been decided.
Yeah. So they come over, everyone gets trashed. Don't forget, these kids, I see kids, they're like 19, 20, 21 years old. Young. Like they probably can't even drink in the States legally.
Probably so not. And they're dehydrated because they're in a hot tub.
And at that age, in this time, you binge drank when you were this age. So they're all getting trashed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Shandy ends up blacking out and pretty much being raped because she can't give consent. And it's framed as Shandy cheating on her boyfriend. And it's all on film. And we see her the next morning sobbing.
Devastated. It's as you would be.
Very upsetting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's awful.
So Tyra's like, oh, I remember that, but I'm not in charge of production.
Well, even then, when you're an executive producer. But when they asked her, do you remember Shandy's
what is
story?
she? What is she, an executive what?
Executive producer.
Oh, so she has something to do with production.
she is the entire show. Okay. When they ask her, do you remember Shandy's story? She's like, yeah, I guess I remember Shandy's story. I'm like, Tyra, like you had time to prepare for this. They didn't like spring this documentary on you. You could have gone back and rewatched some stuff.
It was bad. It was bad.
Terrible.
And Ken Mock is like, sucks to suck. I told them that they were going to be filmed 24/7. Fuck right off with this guy.
Yeah, no, and this, I wonder if I was to go back and watch Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
How many sexual assaults there were on that show? Because it was very common.
Perpetrated by the Jersey Shore cast.
Yes. Exclusively by. There were many, many, many times there were girls who were clearly hammered.
Yep.
Going to bed with these dudes. And so
agree.
It was something that was in the culture at the time, but looking back, you could go, boy, that was really fucked up. Instead, he's like, no, it's good TV.
Exactly. If Tyra here's what I would do if I was Tyra Banks. I would shed a little tear, start being like, you know, this is one of my biggest regrets. Like she really had to fall on her sword here. And she didn't.
And chose not to.
So they have this girls talk where Tyra pretends to be one of them and gather them all together and just be like, "Hey, gals!" It has a very Steve Buscemi, "Hey, you kids" kind of vibe to it.
Let's rap.
Yes, and she's talking about cheating and da 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 da, and she like specifically hones in on Shandy, like, "What's the matter?" And Shandy, of course, starts saying that, start talking about what happened. Then Shandy's like, "I want to go home." Because don't forget, this is a person who has no family. Her family is her boyfriend. And now she has, in her mind, done this terrible thing.
Yes.
I'm going to say something real dark.
Say it.
We're lucky that she's still here. Because this has pushed people beyond their limits, this kind of stuff.
Yes. Yeah. It's a miracle that not only she's still here, but like she has gone past this and is no longer like this should, for all intents and purposes, this should have like emotionally wrecked her for decades.
Yeah. This kind of stuff breaks people. Absolutely. So Shandy says she wants to go home and they're like, "No, you can't go home." And then she's like, "At least let me call my boyfriend." I think his name was Eric. Was it Eric?
Eric or Aaron, one of the two.
Yeah. And they're like, "Oh, suddenly you can have the phone." Okay. So they give her the phone. They film her calling him and telling him. And of course he's upset and he calls her a fucking whore.
Yeah.
Oh,
again, I remember that like it was yesterday. It's fucking terrible.
The way this girl is crying, like, it's so hard for me just to not see my daughters in that space. It's like she needs somebody. This is life and death for this kid. It's not, I'm so angry about it.
And my mind went to, imagine that flight home. That's not a short flight. You're flying an entire day on a plane.
Yeah.
Like, terrible.
Yeah. So she even has to call the guy that assaulted her and ask if he used protection, if he has any STDs. And she says, "Why didn't production make that phone call? Why did I have to?"
No, they filmed her
because they tried to
afterward.
Make it look consensual, and it wasn't.
It was not. It could not have been definitionally. Like, it can't be.
Yes. Ken says, "Oh, this fucking guy."
Trash.
I'm going to interpret what Ken said. Okay. This is my interpretation. She was actually much more of a whore than we showed on camera. We did her a favor by hiding some of it. What?
Yeah. She was a loose woman.
Yes.
Essentially is what he's saying.
She look what she was wearing is essentially what Ken was saying. And Jay is like, "Look, what they're not saying is Nipplegate had just happened at the Super Bowl with Janet Jackson."
Yes.
And so the networks, because God forbid we show a woman's breast in this country, the networks were cramping down. I don't know. I'm using the wrong word. They did not want this to air. And Ken says, "Good or bad, it's one of the most memorable moments on America's Next Top Model." I'm putting that on his tombstone after I murder him.
For real.
Good or bad, it's one of the most memorable moments.
Like for him to essentially be like, "Look, man, we could have shown her getting her whole back blown out and we didn't. So you're welcome, Shandy." I'm just like, God, man. Like,
legally, I have to say I am not going to murder anyone and I do not advocate murder. But when Ken Mock meets his demise, at some point he will, you and I are going to chip in and get that put on his tombstone.
Yes, I will. I'll do the design of the gravestone myself. Pick a horrible typeface for him. Comic Sans.
Papaya. Papyra? What is it?
Papyrus.
Yeah. Papyrus.
I don't know because I don't use it.
No one should. No one should.
It's terrible. It's useless.
When you pull up to a restaurant and their menu's in papyrus, walk out.
There's bugs in that food.
I go crazy over fonts. It's so lovely to have a conversation with somebody else who goes crazy over fonts. Thank you.
It's my favorite thing to talk about.
So now the show is picked up for 2 cycles a year, and the Jays are skyrocketing to fame, and they're recognized before Tyra a lot of times. She doesn't like
crazy,
that.
I'm certain.
Oh, I forgot to mention. You know who else liked this show? David Bowie.
Yeah, it makes sense. He's very fashion adjacent.
Yes. So now they're saying that because of the success of the show, and we need to stop thinking like this as a country, as a people, that just because something's successful, we immediately have to change it and up the stakes. No, like they liked it. Let it ride for a little while.
Face off. Face Off was the same the entire time. They never
Like,
changed shit. It was great the whole time.
The drama and the changes and everything come from the rotating cast. You don't need to like, you do need to update things occasionally here and there, but like you don't have to be doing this every season trying to amp up the stakes.
And that's where I bailed on Big Brother when it's like, oh, we have a secret twin this season. I'm like, no, the drama is lock these people in a house and watch them go crazy. I don't need to have like different exes showing up and shit. Just, you ruined it. You had a good thing, you ruined it.
And Tyra blames us for this. Like, she blames the audience. Like, you guys wanted it bigger and better. Who said that? What?
Well, of course, you and I were sitting in production meetings. So
yeah, what company are you using to like survey the people who are telling you, oh, Amy Archer would watch this if only you had models dangling from cranes over, shark-infested waters.
Yeah, I don't need that. Just show them modeling. That's all I need.
So the crazy photo shoots include they have to wear meat. The worst one, in my opinion, is when they are attacked by birds. I did not like that.
It's a bad one. They did a lot. There was others they didn't show. They had one where the guys from Jackass came and they had a photo shoot with the guys from Jackass who were behaving as you would imagine they'd behave.
Yeah, they're problematic, but I also loved them.
Same. I was the right age. I was born in 85, so that was marketed exclusively for me.
Yes, but they were problems. They were. They pose with bugs and spiders. Oh my God, they posed as unhoused people.
Yeah, with actual unhoused people as props in the background.
What?
Because for what? What are you modeling for?
Okay.
What are you modeling for?
Can we at least hope that they paid the people?
I'm certain they did not. They might have given them like a sandwich. Yeah, you can use craft services for the day or something like that.
Oh God. Yeah. They do a dangers of smoking photo shoot where they have like their hair's falling out and their teeth are yellow.
And again, like now we're in face-off territory because you can't use these photos for anything. Like, I remember like the truth behind smoking ads and whatever. That was enough. You have a big pile of like body bags outside of Philip Morris headquarters or whatever. I don't need to have like a fashion model hitting like a pose in front of that.
No, and these were sponsored. Like the race swapping, the ethnicity swapping, which is horrific. Was
both times
sponsored by milk?
Yeah, that was a Got Milk ad.
Okay. They do a crime scene and they force one girl to act like she's shot in the head, even though her mother was a victim of gun violence, and they knew that.
Yes. And again, what are you modeling for? Like, what is this editorial spread about?
We'll get back to the race swapping, but let's focus on Danny and Joni for 1 second.
Yeah.
So Danny's on cycle 3. And she comes from Little Rock, Arkansas. And she's like anybody from, a small depressed town or whatever. Like, I just want to get out of there. I want to get out of my hometown. This is my ticket out. Her brother encouraged her to do it. They did it. Joni is also on this season. And she has a, quote, snaggletooth, end quote.
She has like an extra tooth growing above all the other ones kind of by her canine.
And I talk about this a lot on Loomis Recap. Dental care in this country is a privilege. Not everybody has it. It's out of reach for most people. So like when I see people with bad teeth, I don't comment on it because when you have to worry about feeding your family or getting your kids braces, I totally understand those decisions. Yeah. So Tyra is going to treat them to the dentist. And I say that because I can see how these guys were like, wow, we should get this done. This is a chance to get my teeth fixed, which I may never have. Outside of this
that's very much how Joni felt because she was self-conscious about her teeth. She didn't like her extra tooth and everything. So like, sure, in that case, fine. Yeah.
And Joni spent 10 hours at the dentist because they pulled her teeth. They like sharpened them. They gave her veneers like all at once. You're supposed to like go over a couple of weeks with this kind of stuff or days at least.
Yeah. They didn't fix anything. It was all cosmetic.
Right. So that's another good point she brings up. She's like, I still had tons of bite situation. Like my mouth is a mess.
It was the Pimp My Ride treatment. Like your car can't run, but you have a fish tank in the back of it now. So enjoy that. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
What a show.
So Danny refuses to close the gap in her teeth. She's like, this is my signature gap.
Yeah, she
Tyra
loves
is
it.
irate about this. Like,
Mhm.
it's oftentimes when Tyra is berating these women, especially if they're women of color, you get the sense that, oh, this is all about Tyra. Does she
Yeah.
see something in this person that's
Yep.
triggering her?
Very
So
much.
she's screaming at her. So Danny calls her mom. She's like, what should I do? And mom is like, look, if you don't get it done, you're coming home. So
Mhm.
like, you decide. I love you no matter what. Gap, no gap.
Yep.
You do whatever you got to do.
You can come home, but you're coming home.
So she eventually agrees to get it like somewhat filled in. I have
Yeah.
to say, she is a gorgeous woman.
Stunning.
Today,
Yeah.
then, all around. Tyra now says, I apologized for this. There were agents telling me she will not work with those teeth. Now, I kind of do believe that. I do
believe
believe
it.
agents were feeling that way about teeth at that time.
Yeah, I believe that. And also, then that's up to Danny to say, okay, like if they don't
Yeah.
want to work with me, they don't want to work with me. And if it hurts my career, then it hurts my career. But this is about the show. So like, am I the
Yes.
best model here or not? Let me worry about if I enter the industry and I'm getting turned down for a lot of jobs because of my gap, I can make that decision then. But like,
Yes.
I haven't won anything yet. I'm not a model yet. So like, let's get to that part first and cross that bridge when we get there.
I agree 100%. And Tyra should have advocated for her. Tyra should have said, here's what agents are telling me. And like you said, it's your decision to make.
Yeah.
So
you have that knowledge now. Do with it what you will.
But Tyra does say, I should have stayed out of it, but hindsight is 2020 and my 2020 is on film. Right. Which is why you should be a bit more contrite, like just be more, what's the word I'm looking for? Regretful, remorseful.
Sure. Even just like circumspect, even just to say like, I can look at it from all angles now when I couldn't before because I was like honed in on this one part of it.
Yes. Yes. Danny says, this is bullshit. That was for TV. Yeah. She's right.
In that moment was the first time I realized, oh, Tyra is still performing in this documentary. Everyone else is being a real person. She is still speaking as though she's like the host of a show. And it comes off worse and worse as it goes on.
I agree. Oh my God, they do race swapping. What?
Sure do. Full-on blackface.
Jay is like, my parents are from South Africa. They grew up during apartheid. Like, I understand why this is bad. But he did it anyway. Yeah, Tyra told him, according to him, that she would handle this sensitively. No. Nope. Now Tyra says, look, I was just trying to show the world that black is beautiful. No, you weren't. Mm-mm.
No, you weren't.
You were just being outrageous. It was gross.
Yeah. There's lots of ways to do that. This isn't it. Yeah, did it twice, a decade apart. You had lots of time to think and reflect on this.
That's what I'm saying. If there were like 3 seasons of this show and it ran from like 2002 to 2005 and all this shit happened, but like we were past this by 2015.
Yes. Yeah. We were well past
we had lived through a Barack Obama presidency by that point. Yeah. We were a different place.
Damn near 2 of them.
Yes.
Like we were past a lot of this.
Yes. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the girls' health. Just a quick trigger warning. I know I'm going to put one at the beginning, but we are going to talk about disordered eating here. The girls are encouraged to put their health on the back burner. Like, that's clear. And that's very common in a lot of these reality shows. This is not America's Next Top Model specific, right?
No.
So they're not eating. They're getting sick. They're passing out. Ken Mock, we see an interview with him where he's on TV going, this is awesome TV. When these girls pass out, that's the good stuff. Yeah. I hate this guy.
To him, these are not people. These are not human beings. These are characters in a show that don't have lives outside of the show.
Yeah. And this is such a weird privilege bubble because I think a lot of people who've spent a lot of time in the television industry on the other side of the camera think, oh, these people just go on and they're normal and they recover from all of this the minute the camera's off because that's what we do here in this industry. But like, no, these are not people who've spent their lives in front of a camera. These are people you're plucking out of obscurity and terrorizing, essentially.
Yes.
So we see a lot of measuring and weighing, and I just wrote, oh, God, I knew this was coming. Coming. Yeah. They seem to single out a woman named Kenya. Is that how you say her name?
Kenya, yeah.
Yeah, and they're talking excessively about her stomach. I mean, I'm like, what stomach? What are we even
Not there.
talking about here?
It ain't there.
Oh, Jesus Christ. She's like a size 6 or something.
Not even probably. And this was the entire season. This was her. It was, they gave her the treatment that Love is Blind is giving Jordan. Or whenever we see her,
Wow.
she's like eating something, putting something in her mouth, making food. Like it, the entire thing. It was almost as though they set it up that like, well, she doesn't really here to model. She's just here because we have like free food available. Was kind of how it was.
Jesus,
yeah,
Christ.
That's how it was presented more or less.
Terrible. Oh my God. She even said they edited like I would be eating a bagel and they would make it look like I was eating 3. I was like, oh my God.
And then the reaction shots of the girl next to her. I'm just like, you guys are not helping either.
So Tyra is hiding behind, well, this is the world we lived in. Like it happened to me too. Okay, here's where I have a problem with this. Don't pull the ladder up behind you, girl. Like, what are you doing? If this happened to you, you know how awful it is. So make it better for the next generation.
And to be clear, Kenya is smaller than Tyra.
Yes.
Like, Kenya is a less curvy woman than Tyra was.
They're calling a plus size a size 6.
Yep. Because you have to be a 2 or below to be like regular size for model clothes.
You guys can't see my face, but so what am I? What am I? Plus size?
I don't fucking know. This is all insane. This is all fucking stupid. All of it.
So Jay tries to defend this, saying, you know, they were relevant discussions to the time. Nope. Again, nope.
Didn't have to be.
Right. They lived on Diet Coke and cigarettes. Okay. Yeah. And people are now seeing this, saying like people who were not on the show, who watched this as teenagers, were like, this gave me an eating disorder. Like when I saw this.
Of course it did.
And people who were on the show and saw earlier seasons said the same thing.
Yep.
So we meet Whitney. We'll have more on Kenya in a second, but we meet Whitney. She's on cycle 10 and she is a size 6. She is 5'10" and 115 pounds. I don't think I've been 115 pounds since like birth. And this woman is called plus size and called fat.
Yeah. No, and my friends all know whenever they talk about girls that they think are attractive, my main catchphrase is always booty too little. I look at them like, yeah, booty too little. Like,
we have
like you're not curvy enough.
We have come a long way with that. Thank God. Thank God. Like I see my daughters. Stays. Yeah, me too. I see my daughters and they're not super stick skinny, right? They're like normal size people, just average size people. And like, they're perfectly okay with that. And it makes me so happy.
Yeah. Because I've got the millennial thing of every girl that I knew had a locker plastered with Abercrombie bags. And so I will never feel that I'm attractive because I was looking at dudes that were like greased up 8-pack models whenever I had a girl that I had a crush on.
Yeah.
So it fucked up all of us.
Yep. Yep. So one woman a few cycles earlier had spoken up about how they would not have any dresses to fit the size 6 model. They would have to cut the backs open, do all, oh my God, she's so huge, you know? And the woman who spoke up earlier had been sent home. So Whitney's like, cautionary tale. I'm not going to do it. Yep. Little Miss Recap will return in a moment. For ad-free episodes, visit littlemissrecap.com/support. So back to Kenya. They're in South Africa for the finale. And one of the ideas is to have these men dance with them. And one guy is aggressively hitting on her, like aggressively. Yeah. He's touching her. He's grabbing her and he's only in a loincloth. So it's watching that footage. It's horrifying.
He's like, moaning in her ear. Like there's a lot of it where he's like
creep.
He's like kissing her on the neck at parts. They didn't show all of it, but like this was got increasingly like aggressive as the shoot went on, basically.
So she stops the shoot and she says, like, I'm uncomfortable. And Jay Manuel's like, this is professional. We're all here. What are you talking about? Like, we're all here on the set. You're not in danger.
Because we're all here.
Yeah. Everybody was there when Shandy was in the shower with that guy, too. And look what happened. So at the elimination, she tells them this model was grinding against me and moaning. And the picture they use even shows him grabbing her.
Yep.
And Nigel Barker's like, don't know what to tell you, girl. It's the nature of the beast. You need to learn how to stand up for yourself. And then Tyra gives her a keep sweet speech.
Yeah. Don't make it awkward for him. Was basically her whole thing. And the part that made me the most upset was they were like, well, you have to be able to like speak up for yourself. Bitch, she did. She literally said, hey, I'm uncomfortable with this. This is crossing a line for me.
Yep.
Like, a boundary has been crossed. I'm not okay with this. And they were all like, how dare you? I'm just like, you guys are the fucking
And in what world are we teaching women to confront their abuser instead of, okay, like, I'm a cop, I'm standing right next to you, you're being abused. No, you have to yell at the abuser. Don't come to me for help.
Yeah.
This makes no
sense. I'm
sense.
not your boss. Like, you're literally your boss. Do something.
And like I was telling you before we started, like, I understand that women in general often feel like they have no power. You could be the most powerful woman in a company and still feel like you don't have as much power than men. Like, that is something that we've internalized. It's bred into us. Mm-hmm. So, like, I struggle with this with Tyra because what I hear when she says, you need to say it in a way that doesn't upset, what I hear is internalized misogyny, right? Like, that's what Tyra was told her whole life. But, like, she can defend that in current day. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, where's current day Tyra saying, like, oh my God, that was awful. I should have protected her. Why did we not?
No accountability.
No, none. So she just says, I was trying to empower her. Okay.
Right. You weren't.
No. Episode 3, they asked Tyra, what was the toughest moment for you? And then they kind of feed her. Was it Tiffany? Okay.
She didn't have one in mind.
So
I even unprepared.
Right. I love how they have to say, what was the toughest moment for you? Was it the race swapping? Was it the fat shaming? Was it the rape on camera? Was it the sexual assault on camera? What was it? Was it Tiffany?
Was it the bullet wound to the head?
No, it was the girl who let you down. That's who it was. Yeah.
It was the time you lost your cool.
Yeah.
God.
So Tiffany comes in. She's a contestant who came in the first year, but got in a fight in a bar. So they mentored her, got her back. So this has some like weird white saviorism behind it, even though Tyra is a woman of color. So I don't really understand what's happening here. But at the elimination, the girls had to do like a read off a teleprompter. And a lot of the things were right. And a lot of the names were French and they were I would suck at this because I'm terrible at stuff like this. Yeah. So a lot of them are struggling and Tiffany kind of tries, but she struggles. And me as a teacher, I immediately saw the look of terror on a kid's face when you call on them to read, and they've always struggled with reading their whole life. Exactly. So like I would take that as a cue to immediately move on. But they did not do that. They instead berate her. Yeah, they berate her for not trying this. And this is where Tyra sends her home. She says goodbye to everybody else with a smile on her face, and Tyra loses her shit. Do you remember this happening?
Oh, 100%. And like even before it became a meme that gets over and over again, there was another podcast called Back Issue that I don't think exists anymore, but it was part of their like theme song. It was like they had this part of it, and then they also had at the end of each episode a segment called "Learn Something from This," where they played Tyra screaming, "Learn something from this." This has been part of the oeuvre for a long time.
Yeah,
my thing with it was like, the making them read this was dumb. It was just to humiliate them and to make them look stupid, because I've never been a spokesperson for anything. Mm-hmm. I would imagine you get the script in advance to like read it and practice it. So it'd be like, hey, on the spot, read these 40,000 foreign words with like confidence in front of judges who are here to humiliate you. That's fucking stupid. It's unrealistic. It's unnecessary. I get why she was upset.
It makes me wonder, Brian, if they had knowledge that one of the girls was dyslexic or something. Yeah, that's what makes me wonder.
I bet they did. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Tyra, this is the famous, I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. She does now say that she went too far. And she says, I saw myself in Tiffany. And this black girl stuff, she says, goes real deep inside of all of us. And it was really deep inside of me. So it's amazing because as offensive as this was to Tiffany, This, in my opinion, was one of the least offensive things that was
They didn't
said
show the
or
worst
done
part.
on this show.
So when they allude to it, what they showed was that they aired on the TV. So we saw
Okay.
like the whole thing. They allude to like after that, the lawyers had to come in and there
Yes.
was like things that I'll never repeat that were said. Somebody broke the news of what she said.
Oh
Part
my
of it
God.
was go back home and sleep on that dirty mattress on the floor at your grandma's house with your baby. Like this went on for some time. Yeah. Because she came from a very hard Scrabble background and had a kid, and they were like, yeah, go back and sleep on that dirty mattress on the floor of your grandma's house with your baby is one of the things that Tyra said. Like
Jesus
it seems
Christ.
like it went on for like 10 minutes and it wasn't like a quick minute-long outburst. It went on and on. So yeah.
Wow.
Inexcusable.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Inexcusable. Yeah. Done. So by cycle 8, Jay Manuel is getting disillusioned with the show, according to him.
He says so. Maybe.
So they do this photo shoot where they have to look strung out. This is wild.
Yeah.
And the producers ask, did you ever say anything when you thought things were not copacetic? You know, were you like, hey, objection, Your Honor? And he's like, that was not my place. No.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know how empowered he felt or was, but
he in the beginning he was very empowered.
He spends a lot of time telling us about his friendship with Tyra. So like you could have fucking said something to her.
Yeah. And really in the beginning he was creative director. And like my old boss was a creative director. I know what that job entails.
Mm-hmm.
He was the one picking all the themes and doing all of the creative for the early season photo shoots. I'm not sure when that was taken away from him, if it was after this part or what. But like,
I thought it was
you were in control. It might have been. Yeah,
I think when Nigel came in, because Jay was kind of like offended that they replaced him with a straight white male.
That's So yeah, at that point, maybe he didn't have control over what was happening, but you could step up and say, hey man, like, this is pretty fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. He tells us that he wanted to leave. I don't believe this, because if you are so super close with someone, why do you quit via email?
I don't know. I could see if he's like, I'm scared to have this conversation in person. Maybe, I don't want to hurt my friends' feelings, something, but I believe that he wanted to leave, but not because he felt uncomfortable with the direction of the show. I think it was like either A, this show has run its course, or B, I can use my newfound notoriety to like do different things and have more fun.
You're right.
And more success on my own, and not have this be, you're filming 2 seasons a year, you're busy a lot. So I think he's
rewriting history. I think that's a good point.
Yeah. We're retconning this a lot. Yeah.
So he says Tyra responded with, I am disappointed. And he says he was low key threatened by lawyers to give them one more cycle, but he stayed on for like 10 more.
Like 10 more seasons.
I don't understand.
So I need to connect that for me. I could see in my mind watching this, okay, so he did one more season, then he left. And it's like, well, and then season 19 started. And I was like, well, wait a minute, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah. So they asked Tyra about this. She prefers not to talk about it.
Of course she does.
So after you are eliminated, you stay in a hotel until the entire show is done. So if you're eliminated first week, you're there for like 10 weeks or whatever it is.
Weeks and weeks. Yeah.
Yep. And that's how they keep it confidential. They're offered no support, not even phone calls home.
Yeah.
And the prize here is more meaningful than money. So they're talking about how like these girls who would lose, quote unquote, be voted out or whatever, like they weren't just not winning $20,000. They had a chance. And as a creative, you probably get this. And as a creative, I get too. It would be like somebody being like, you could have a book deal, like a lucrative book deal, like just hanging that over your head. Cause that's what every artist wants, right? Is to like kind of break out.
It's will you work for exposure?
Yes.
No, and then I won't.
Right. And then it's like, oh, okay. So like, in other words, the defeat is, you feel like a failure. You probably internalize that. Like it's more than I just didn't win $20,000.
Yeah.
So these people needed some kind of support, even in the form of letting them talk to their families. So basically, did this help anyone? The consensus is not really. And the problem was Top Model was not taken seriously. And there was a stigma back then for reality TV. It's not like it is today where, these Love is Blind idiots are getting all these brand deals and, it wasn't
Bella
like that then.
and Gigi Hadid. Bella and Gigi Hadid came from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So like it's a whole thing.
Yeah. So eventually some of the winners were able to go on, or some of the contestants were able to go on and model, but not often the winners. The winners were not often successful.
And not usually at like the top of the industry. Like you get some work, you're making some money, you have a career, but you're not cover of Vogue or anything like that.
No. Tyra does want to take credit for any successes here. And she says, we opened the door for everyone. We did that.
Including women who had nothing to do with the show.
I would argue culture was changing.
Yes, I would argue that. I would also argue that these women are just exceptional models. So like, you don't really get to take credit for like every model that came after the show aired.
But there was also like, we were moving towards body positivity, right? Like we had a black president, like things were opening up. So like
the culture was not what it was anymore.
Danny ended up winning. I wrote, guess closing that gap helped, I guess.
Turns
I don't know. But she says when the camera shut down, they threw her to the wolves. They treated her like a black sheep. Shandy says Tyra invited some of the girls onto her talk show years later.
Yeah.
This was bad.
Terrible.
And Tyra asks Shandy, what'd you think when you saw that footage of you being raped on television? All of us just standing around watching. And Shandy's like, I can't watch it. I cannot watch it. And you see her in flight or fight mode. She's like, yeah. And Tyra's like, roll the tape. And they show it to her.
Bean footage.
They show it to her.
In full, in front of an entire audience of people. So it's not like, we have you in a back room where you can watch. It's like, we're going to show it to you in front of a live studio audience.
Yeah. Where are the producers of Tyra Banks' television show? Can we get them over to Sister Wives for the tell-all?
For real.
If
we're doing this, make Robin watch this. Tape her eyelids open.
This is the kind of accountability we need over at the Brown family. We don't need this for poor victim of rape Shandy. Absolutely not.
Right. No.
So Shandy does say she tried to work it out with Eric, but she says like when people would recognize her on the street, like they would call her a whore or a slut. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah.
So she went back and worked at Walgreens.
I think she still does, is what it sounded like.
Yeah.
I hope that's not the case, but boy.
I agree. Mark Pedowitz comes in at the network. He replaces Dawn. And they're like, boy, this show is on its last leg. God, do something. And it is unclear. Tyra's trying to blame him, but most people say it was Tyra's choice to fire the Jays.
Yeah.
Why do you think she would do this?
I think it was basically like, if you don't fire the Jays, we're canceling the show. And so she chose herself, rich as she already was, she chose herself instead of long-lasting friendships, because were it not for Miss J, Tyra doesn't know how to walk properly. So like, he's the reason she knows how to do a model walk. And then she's like, hit the bricks.
But like, why would the network want them fired if they're the draw? I can't figure this out.
I think it's just, change for change's sake, where it's like the show, because they were like, the show is still a hit, but it's starting to slow down. Okay. And so like we see with lots of reality shows, the answer is to just like shake it up and bring in different stuff and make changes. There's only so many changes you can make with this show because it's kind of formulaic. So get rid of the most charismatic men we've ever seen on TV and bring in people we don't know, and that'll fix it.
And it pretty much jumps the shark at this point. Like they're she's like, we're only casting people smaller than 5'7". We're doing like just weird casting tricks. Yeah. After cycle 22, the network tells Ken Mock they don't want Tyra any longer. And Tyra uses this as validation. Like, see, I knew they were threatening, but she was only gone for one cycle. She came back cycle 23. So like, I think she just had to take a leave or something and is now trying to frame it.
Yeah. She wanted a vacation for one cycle.
Yeah. So Nigel goes on to have a pretty decent career. He works with Taylor Swift, the Miss Universe pageants. One of those things is not like the other.
Right.
Jay Manuel went on to E! and started a cosmetics company. He also wrote a book. Jay Alexander went on to work at SCAD, but then he had a stroke, and this was really sad.
Very sad.
He says on December 27th, 2022, he woke up in a hospital. He spent 5 weeks in a coma.
Yeah.
Jay and Nigel came to visit when he was at his lowest. He couldn't talk, he couldn't walk, nothing. Like the irony of this man teaching all these women to walk, was heartbreaking.
Awful.
And he's still recovering. He still can't walk.
I think he can stand now, is what I've heard recently. He's not walking yet, but he can stand at least.
So upsetting.
Yeah,
and it's interesting because Jay, Manuel, and Nigel, are there for him. Guess who's not, Brian?
Tyra Banks, the devil.
Wow.
And they asked him, how would you not?
I know. Just knowing this documentary was going to come out. Go and see him.
He's not in a hospital in like a remote, hard to get to place. He's in New York. Like, you're in New York. I'm certain Tyra Banks is in New York
the time.
often. Like, the least you could do is take him some damn soup.
Well, she did text him and ask him if she could come visit, but nothing yet. Nothing. Tyra's living in Australia, and she's launched an ice cream store named Smize, which is her term.
Yeah. And
she also says, you have no idea what we have planned for Cycle 25. Are they coming back?
No. The delusion on this woman. I think she was looking at this like people are going to watch this documentary and love the show and be nostalgic for it and want it back. And they're going to demand that we redo it and do it better than ever. And I'm going to use this to get someone to pick up the show, maybe Netflix. It ain't going to happen, Tyra. And if it does, you're not involved with it.
No, and if it does, we're not watching.
No, I'm not going to watch that. Absolutely not.
No, it's wild to me. What is she going to do? I don't want this.
I don't know.
I don't want it.
It's when I watched it, I was just like, oh, you're not with us. Like, you're no longer here on the real world with all of the rest of us.
Yeah.
The
wires are not connecting here.
Yes, there are certain people in reality TV I see this with. I was a Teen Mom fanatic. Farrah's trying to run for mayor of Austin. You're not here with us. Like, you aren't existing in the same world.
I don't know that reference. I just enjoy you saying you're not here with us.
No, she's an insane person. She's an insane person who failed to run a frozen yogurt restaurant properly. So, like, you're not going to be mayor of Austin.
I can't watch Teen Mom. Like, those kids
I love it. Teen Mom. Unexpected is back. Woof.
Yeah, those kids are like 17, 18 years old.
There's a 13-year-old on Unexpected. He got her pregnant when he was 12.
No.
So she's 15, but he was 12. 12.
Americans are trash, right? Like, and I mean in our viewing, not them doing that. I'm talking like what we like to watch, we're trash.
Our taste is horrible in entertainment.
Yes.
Just deplorable.
Yes. All right. Well, that's it. That's the documentary. I have to say, as somebody who never watched this, I really enjoyed it. Like, I thought it was interesting, kept my interest the entire time because I kept waiting for Tyra to take some accountability.
Not going to happen. Nope. Not her thing.
Nope.
No, I'm perfect.
Is this like just who she is? Like, did you expect anything more?
I didn't know enough about her to really have an opinion. Like, I watched a few episodes of her talk show. And I'm like, yeah, this checks out. Because there was the one where she was homeless for a day. There was one where she wore a fat suit for a day. And I'm just like, no, she does seem to be.
I remember her being homeless for a day. That was really bad.
Yeah, you're still Tyra Banks. People recognize who you are. No, so I don't know what I expected. I think when I saw that she was in it, I was like, oh no, they're going to like whitewash her involvement and it's going to be like a puff piece about her. Then when I saw her in it, I'm like, you don't know how you come across at all. You are so oblivious to the way that you are being seen by other people. And it's wild to me to watch someone with that lack of self-awareness. But I guess this is just who she is.
Yeah. Everybody's talking about this documentary. Everybody's just stunned.
Yeah, it's something.
And again, I do feel like it's very similar to the Biggest Loser documentary where you're just like, what? Jillian Michaels, what? Yeah.
Oh, Jillian Michaels is worse than Tyra. There, I said it.
Monster.
She's a horrible person.
All right, my friend. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you in all the places?
Yep. You can listen to me at Maths Virgin. We are currently doing the Houston season of Married at First Sight. That's Rachel and Jose, Gil and Mirla, Zach and Michaela. There's a villain in every couple, and most of them have revealed themselves. One has not yet. Two have not yet, but I'm waiting for it to come. And my co-host Kim, again, we talked about this. It's Math's virgin, not because we are virgins, but because Kim had not seen Married at First Sight before we started the podcast. Yeah. And so she does not know what's coming. And when it hits, it's going to be hilarious for her to watch it go down. Yeah. And I know Amy brought it up at the start. If you guys like my graphic tees, you can go to nifty50apparel.com, nifty50 apparel. I have a lot of stuff there. I do a lot of location-based things. So if you have a favorite city, it might be part of the assortment. If not, let me know and I'll make one for that city.
And all of it is hand drawn, no AI. So let's support local art. Let's support independent artists.
Yeah. Even my type is done by hand. I don't do anything with AI. I don't leave anything. It's supposed to look vintage. And so like I redraw, if I do have type on the shirt, I redraw that part too, just to make it look authentic and lived in. So I take a lot of, care in what I do. If you guys like craftsmanship, my graphics are very well crafted, I would say.
And you have pride in a lot of things in your life, but probably the shining thing on the hill for you is doing the Lady of a Certain Rage t-shirt, right?
I loved it. Yeah, that represents how my work looks. If I love to fuck around with script, and so I'm like, well, I'll do a script type and I'll do a thing. Like that's how my graphics typically look anyway. So if you like that look, that's how all of my stuff looks.
Guys, grab a Lady of a Certain Rage t-shirt, and also I just ordered my dad an Eagle shirt from your shop, Nifty 50.
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna get sued, so get it before they.
Gonna give it to him for Father's Day. So
I hope he likes it. Yeah, the promo code is Little Miss 15. You get 15% off whatever you buy from me. So hope you guys like my stuff. I love.
Well, this is airing next week, so make sure that promo code is still good.
Oh, it'll be active until I think the world ends, probably, because as long as you guys keep on buying my stuff, I'll keep it up forever. Right. I don't care.
Okay. Well, all right. Sounds good. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Brian, thank you so much for joining me on this. Whenever I'm like accosted by pop culture, I have to bring in the expert. Yeah.
I love trash, so I'll be on as often as you want to have me on.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.